Have comedy. Please make some noise for your host, Patrick Hasty.
So crazy! Goddamn, this is great. That's my dad's band. Isn't that cool? That's not my dad's band. How are we doing, everybody? Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is a good show. This is Jackknife Comedy. Make some noise if you've been to a Jackknife show before. God damn it, never once. Wouldn't it be great if we got some return? This is our 50th show. That's crazy. You haven't been anything 50 times? It's nuts. My name's Patrick. I'm going to be one of your hosts tonight. This is going to be great. It's going to be the best comedy show you guys have seen in a while, I guarantee you. We got great comics all over the country. Great New York comics. It's going to be fantastic. But first, what we like to do at the top of the show is we like to hand out some free beers. So, hey, can I get Harris up here? My co-host for the evening, Harris. Losers, that's fine. Look at that. Look at this. If I wasn't kidding, PDR, they sponsor us. They don't.
No eye contact. Okay.
What do you do? Can I ask you that? You're a software developer? Fuck, that's good. That's like a real. You probably get a paycheck often, huh? Cool. That's great. This is gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. I just spent 2 weeks on the road. I was doing comedy out there in God's country. It's nuts. You know how many goddamn Trump billboards there are around there? Like, that's why that guy won. They just had a good ad campaign. Like, I love. Have you guys ever had Quick Trip pizza? It's really good, and I know that because I kept seeing billboards for them. All right, I'm gonna start doing comedy in about 30 seconds. You guys are great. What's your name, dude? Steve. Have you been to the show before? You look familiar. You're a software engineer.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Did you go to college for that?
Yeah.
Cool. That's how it works, huh? I'm making some notes. Maybe I have a fallback plan. Thank you so much for coming. Are you guys friends, a couple, brothers, sisters? How does this all work?
This is my brother-in-law, my sister.
Your brother-in-law, so you two are married on the together? Cool, I get it. I know how familiar relations work. You know? That sounds like fucking family, doesn't it? Familial relations. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Do you guys live here?
We do.
You guys do, and you're visiting. Where are you from?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. Are you a big Spurs fan? All right. Cool, yeah, I like them. They're a good team. Cool. Are you guys from Texas as well?
No, we're from
Wisconsin? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Now I'm on board. All right, I'm safe. I feel safe. I'm from Iowa, which most of you probably guessed the second you saw my dumb fucking face. That's my look. I'm sort of guy, I'm doing the show for everybody, not just these three, even though I have zoned in on them pretty hard right at the top. You guys are great. Have you guys been to the show? No? What do we got going here? Couples, friends, best friends? Couples. You two are a couple, you two are a couple. Cool. Are you guys from New York? Where are you guys from?
We're from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts? What about you two?
California.
California, I love it. The Massachusetts of the West. That's perfect, you know? Come on, that's kind of funny, right? Because nobody would ever fucking say that, you know? Nobody's ever been in LA and been like, this is a lot like Cambridge. Like, never once, you know? Never. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I swear to God, this is going to be fun. I was out there doing comedy. I'm going to tell you guys some goddamn jokes. I'm from Iowa. I said that I love it. It's fine. I'm married too, like you guys. Can I ask who proposed to who?
He proposed to me.
You proposed. That's how some people do it that way. How do you do it? Is it a good story?
No.
Fuck no. No, you know what's crazy? I have a good story. That's why I trap all these fuckers into telling me at comedy shows all around the world. But you'd be surprised how often it's like, we were on the couch, and I was like, huh? And she's like, yep. And then they got, signed a paper. How do you do it?
I brought her to a place that was special to me.
Special to you, yeah. Fuck her. Who cares? You're like, I don't know. I saw Batman Returns in this theater, honey. That's cool. But she said yes, so it works out. That's pretty good. Cool. All right. I'm married. I love my wife. She's my best friend in the world. I'm going to tell you about how I proposed to her, but I'm going to give you a minute because I want to tell you this other thing that we've got into lately. You guys live in New York. You all live in New York. Do you guys know about this goddamn Broadway like musicals and theaters? You guys know about this thing, like plays? They didn't tell us about this shit when I was growing up in Glenwood. I don't think they knew what we were going to do with it, back in Iowa. But they got all these theaters now, and we're going to these plays, we're going to these musicals and stuff. It's a lot more than Hamilton, but Hamilton is pretty good. I was doing research, I was walking down the street, and I was learning, I saw this theater, there's this theater on 45th Street that's called the Booth Theater. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's a big, fancy Broadway theater. And I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a cool theater. And I started reading about what it is, and it's named after this guy, Edwin Booth, who is the most famous actor from the 19th century, right? He was so famous. So they named this theater after him, right? But here's the thing. He was very famous in the 1800s. But more famous than him was his brother, John Wilkes Booth, the guy who killed the President of the United States of America. What? Can you imagine being so goddamn good at acting that your brother can murder the president and they're still gonna name a theater after you? Like, that's insane, you know? Also, please keep in mind, this is 40 years before movies started coming out. So we're just taking them at their word that this guy's good at acting. There is no proof, right? Also, please keep in mind that that guy's brother killed the president in a theater. That is fucking nuts. Like, that is, somebody hates, you know, somebody's having some fun, you know, like, that'd be like if all of a sudden we found out that, Lee Harvey Oswald had a sister that was so good at writing books, they named a book depository after her, you know? They're like, well, we know about the car thing, but God, read Joyce Harvey Oates. I don't know what her name would be. Oh, God, Oswald. You guys theater people? God, I feel like it. What's your favorite musical?
I like Venus and Fur.
Yeah, I never even heard of that one. I swear to God, I was going to be like, oh, please be the one or two I know. I think I heard Into the Heights. Yeah, man. And I just keep talking about it for 40 minutes. I am going to talk about this for 40 minutes. But I look more, here's the thing, the first production they ever put on at the Booth Theater, this is 100% real, the first production they ever put on there was the play Our American Cousin, which is just the play that was happening in the room the night that guy's brother killed the president. What the fuck is happening on Broadway, guys? Is there no oversight? Alright. I really thought I was going to like just destroy tonight, and I was going to have to. Now I'm playing catch up as the host of the show. Not a good spot to be. I'll tell you real quick about how I proposed them because I promised you I would, and I need something to help me out. You guys are married too, or just couples, just dating? Engaged, yeah, that's the way you do it. What about you two? Not engaged? Married, fuck yeah, everybody, yeah. By the way, if anybody here is just dating and you're thinking about getting engaged, this show would be a real fun time to do it, you know? Really take it through the roof, everybody be talking about it tomorrow. I proposed, my wife, my girlfriend at the time, we had this trip planned to go to Paris, France, right? And I'm thinking about it, and I had the ring already, and I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna propose at the top of the Eiffel Tower, right? Because doesn't that sound like a cool romantic thing? It's a lot fucking better than just that place you liked once, you know? And so I had this thing, and so I got the ring, and I went to her mom, Janelle, and I was like, Janelle, can I marry you? And she's like, yeah, of course, and that was great. And so we go to France, and we're walking around Paris, and we see like the Louvre and the Moulin Rouge. It's great, you know? And then the last night, we're going to the Eiffel Tower, and we get in the elevator, and we're going up in the elevator, and I got just like butterflies in my stomach, you know, because it's like, I'm like, oh, everything changes as soon as we get to the top. And we get up there, and the doors open on the elevator, and we step out, and you just see like a guy proposing right there, and like a guy proposing right there, and just like a guy. And then she just goes, yeah! And I was like, fuck. God damn it, I thought this was gonna be like cool, like a romantic movie. This is just like hacky bullshit. This is just stupid, you know? So she goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And then I just start pushing the ring into the fibers of my jeans, you know? You're like trying to see if I can push it all the way back to that Claire's I bought it at in Iowa, you know? You're like, come on, fucker, get in there. And so then we left the Eiffel Tower, and I just didn't propose, you know? And then we went back to our hotel in Paris, and I just didn't propose. And then we came back to America, and I just didn't propose, you know? And then the entire year of 2009 happened, you know? Like all 12 months. And I just didn't propose, which is fine for her. Like, she had no idea. Nobody knew. None of our friends, nobody knew. The only person that knew, her mom, who pretty much stared daggers at me for the entirety of 2009. You know, like, fucking every time she'd walk out of the room, it'd be like, what are you doing? I'm gonna do it, Janelle, I swear. You know, just her, you know. But then a year later, we go to Rome. And we're in Rome, Italy, and it's New Year's 2009 and 2010. And you know, like Times Square, how there's all those people, you know, and it's like all party? That's what it's like out in front of the Coliseum. And so I'm like, ooh, this isn't, you know, hacky bullshit. This is cool. This is like fun, romantic comedy stuff. And so we're doing the countdown, and it's like 10, 9, 8. I don't know, I'm not good at numbers, you know, but you guys get it. And so we get down to the point, and then it's 2, 1, and I just go, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. And then it's like, oh, you know, fucking great. It's amazing, you know, the whole world. And so we go back to the hotel in Rome. And she's super excited, you know, because she's engaged. She doesn't know this whole fucking tale. And so we go into the room, and she fires up her laptop and gets on Skype, and she calls her mom. And there's a time difference. So her mom's like, ugh, wakes up, looks at her, and she's like, Mom, Patrick proposed. And she's like, yeah, well, it's about fucking time, don't you think? And she's like, what? And she's like, let me talk to him. And I just got screamed at for about 10 minutes from my future mother-in-law, which was pretty great, you know, pretty great way, the way I wanted to end that night. Okay, well, I'm gonna get you back later. You guys, I swear to God, like me. But coming up next, you guys are definitely gonna love. Give it up for the Creek in the Cave real quick. Can I do that? This place is fantastic. We get to do this every month. This is our 50th one. Coming up next, he's a great friend of mine. He's going to call us tonight. He just moved to the city from Denver, Colorado. He's absolutely hilarious, and you guys are all going to love him. Please go crazy for Harris Alterman. Come on. Thank you. Keep it going for Patrick, everybody. He's short, he's bald, he needs that. Thank you. That's right, I'm from Colorado. I'm probably the most Colorado person you'll ever meet. My job is, I review weed for a living. That's what I did. Yeah, my job title is, what? Come in. And, as an expert in weed, just want to say, if you ever read a weed review, and it's like, this weed is very high quality, high THC count, strong head high. That weed sucks, all right? Here's how you know the weed is actually good. When the review is a review for something else. like if the review for Blueberry Diesel just starts out with have you guys seen Moana? Oh my God. That was the best documentary of all time. I'm really excited when they legalize all the other drugs so I can review those. Just like Juby Guy did cocaine, it's so good. Oh yeah, how do you know? The review is 700 pages. Juby Guy did this acid, look at the review, it's written in wingdings. It's gonna be crazy. I remember one time I was at a concert and I was trying to buy shrooms from this guy, and I was like, hey, are your shrooms any good? Word for word, this was his response. Blam, blam, blam. And I was like, perfect. That's what I need. So I just moved here. I don't know how to get weed, because in Colorado, you just buy it in a store. Oh, like a weed store? No, any store! Oshkosh Bagosh, Big Lots, Best Buy, anywhere. And I asked my friend in New York, I was like, how do you get weed here? And he was like, you just gotta know a guy. I can't go back to knowing a guy? I've lived in the future. I have a punch card for drugs. Now I gotta text a guy named Raccoon? I can't. And non-Colorado people don't get it. Imagine if you fucking move somewhere and something you buy every day is just gone. Imagine you move to Nebraska and you go into the store and you're like, where's all the shampoo? And then you ask your friend, like, how the fuck do I buy shampoo here? And he's like, nope, shampoo's illegal here. The government thinks it's really dangerous. You're like, what are you talking about? I use shampoo every day. Why is it? Can I get some meth? Yes, this is Nebraska. Anyone can buy meth here who's over the age of 18 or younger. Any person can buy it. Yeah, so I need a new job now. So I moved. This is the job I want. I've heard about these people. Their whole job is to create sound effects from scratch for movies. Like one time, I saw an interview with this lady, and she was like, yes, we need to create the sound of leaves rustling. So we took a piece of sandpaper, and we scratched it against a bedpost. And behind every movie you see someone like me making the sound effects. And I was like, really? Like every movie? Like even pornos? That's the job I want, you know. I'm the guy's like, yeah, we took an old tennis racket and we dipped it in cottage cheese rapidly. Right, then we took a bike pump, we filled it up with helium. Right, then we took some silly putty, we stretched it out. It makes a sound like, yeah, you wanna fuck me? Oh yeah! Slap it! None of the sounds are real. All the sounds of women swallowing semen, they're not real. We record me swallowing semen. It's delicious. Oh man. What else did I do today? I mostly chilled at home. I listened to some Spotify. You guys have Spotify? Okay. By the way though, don't have Spotify Premium. Just, for me, I've never really found the ads that annoying, you know? Like, I feel like if I was the marketing guy for Spotify and I really wanted people to sign up for premium,
I would just make the ads way worse. like your song would fade out, and then the ad would fade in. Guys, buy my premium and go ad free. Yeah, I think it's for $10 a month. Jesus Christ! Please, no more Adele. Good God. It's pretty bad. I'm trying to get in shape a little more. I've been going to this gym, but I feel very discouraged every time I go to this gym that I go to, because there's an old man who also goes there, and his body is way better than mine. He looks like Chris Hemsworth. He's just, and I don't even get it. I go like 2-3 times a week. I'm like, how the fuck did Milton over here get all these muscles? I think just maybe he's getting older and he's starting to forget stuff. So he just leaves the gym every day, like, where was I going? Oh, the gym! Oh, that's it. Oh, he's doing bicep curls like 48, 49, 1! Oh, it's time for my daily protein shake. Now I can sit back, relax, and just time for my daily protein shake. I go to this gym, there's a lot of old Jews there. I'm a Jew myself. Any Jewish people? Okay, a couple, that's good. I don't know anything about Judaism, though. Sometimes people ask me, like, my parents didn't teach me anything as a kid, so I don't know anything. So, like, when people ask me, like, oh, what's it like being Jewish? I don't know, I just make shit up. People are like, so what's it like being Jewish? Well, you know, it's no fun getting circumcised every year. And, the good part is you get to take your foreskin and you put it under your pillow, and then the foreskin fairy comes, and he takes it and he replaces it with an Einstein Bagels gift card. So that's good. Oh, why do Jews wear those little hats? Oh, yarmulkes, those have been taking hot latkes out of the oven. This is the only thing I know about Judaism, is that coupons are fantastic. Okay, Jews are cheap! The stereotype is true. I don't understand, though, like, why there's a stigma around using coupons. To me, it's like, okay, you could spend more money, or you could spend less money. It's very simple. And yet somehow every time I use a coupon, or one of my friends are like, oh, you're being cheap, you're just being Jewish. All right, well, you know what? In the end, I can have more money than you. And you know why? Because I inherited it. So I use coupons to buy everything. One time, no joke, I used a coupon to buy Plan B. Oh, so you saved like $5? No, I saved $1,005,000. That baby is dead. Speaking of dead babies, this neighborhood that I live in, this is crazy. Sometimes there's a pro-life truck that drives around my neighborhood with big pictures of aborted fetuses on the side of it. Dude, and they have a megaphone, and they like to go, all liberals will burn in hell! And this is the only way I have figured out how to get them out of my neighborhood. If they ever come to your neighborhood, and this is terrible, but just go up to that truck and pretend you think it's a food truck. Just walk up there, yeah, can I get the baby back ribs? You got coleslaw? Okay, great. And then what you do, you pull out a bib of a baby with a spork in it, and it says, I'm pro-lunch. And they hate that. They fucking hate that. Thank you guys very much. My name is Jared Boston. We're going to keep this show rolling. Your next comedian on the stage, he writes the New Yorker. Please give it up for Ginny Hogan!
How you guys doing? Yeah. Do you guys like phone sex? Do I have any phone sex fans? I don't judge you because I used to have so much phone sex. I really did. I can't anymore though. The new iPhones don't fit. You know. Joke about putting an iPhone up my puss. People are always telling me, you guys like casual sex? I know some of you do. Okay. People are always telling me that I need to be less casual about sex, like during sex, but in my defense, the potato chips were right there. That's a true story. I did eat during sex. I did it because I thought it would be funny. And I was right. My boyfriend at the time, though, hard disagreed. He was like, Ginny, that's fucked up. You can't just eat potato chips midway through sex. I know, I was like, Tim, how was I supposed to know we were midway through? Seriously, like, girls don't know how long sex is gonna take, okay? Like, it's not like an Uber ride. Like, you don't just plug it in. You do kind of plug it in, but like, it's, I don't know. I don't need any warning on when sex is gonna end. I happen to be really great at fake orgasms because I'm just naturally very red and out of breath. It's a real gift. It comes easy to me. I have a hard time dating. I have a theory that I'm turned off by guys who are too into me. Anyone else have that? Who's on a date here tonight? He hates you, okay? I'm just trying to relate. Okay, I have a theory that I'm turned off by guys who are too into me. I would like at least one example to prove it, though. You know what I mean? Like, as it stands right now, it is strictly theoretical. It's just like a lot of it. I have a third date tonight, though. Thanks, guys. Give it up for me. Do you guys think I should sleep with him on a third date? If I want to? Okay. Anyone else have an opinion? Anyone else think I should do it if I don't want to? Alright. I can't decide if I should sleep with him on the third date. Although, to be fair, we already have twice. Like, is the third date too soon? I just don't know how soon is too soon to have sex for a third time. You know what I mean? Like, no one tells me that. You know? My last boyfriend was black. And my black boyfriend just hated when I called him that because he said that we were not officially dating. So rough, you know? Did you guys celebrate Me Too season? Me Too fans? It's over now. You know what I mean? It's like Christmas. It comes and goes, and it's never gonna come back again. But my favorite story from the whole Me Too movement was when Al Franken was like in the hot seat. All the women from Saturday Night Live wrote a letter saying that he didn't they wrote a letter saying that he did not sexually harass any of them. And I just thought this was the most beautiful story of a man not sexually harassing a woman. You know, like, would any of the men in the audience like to share stories of times that you didn't sexually harass a woman? It could be anything. You know, on the bus. It could be right here tonight. Did anyone not sexually harass a woman tonight? Alright, we got a clap up front. That's the most I've ever gotten. If I make direct eye contact, my hit rate is better. Not that kind of hit, but okay. I made that my Facebook status recently. I asked all the men to tag a woman they hadn't sexually harassed. Everyone just tagged me, which was hurtful. You know, so it's rough out there. I don't know. I woke up this morning with my eyes feeling very crusty. And this will happen to me. My eyes do feel, you're like, they look crusty, I get it. But my eyes do feel crusty sometimes because I literally never take my makeup off, you know? I just keep putting more and more on, which is why I get increasingly more beautiful. On the up and up. Here's the thing about being a woman. Like, you have to wear, one of the things, there are two total things, but you have to wear your makeup every day or never. You know, because like, if you wear your makeup every day, and then you take one day off, people think you're dying. Like, seriously, like, when I used to have a job, I'm unemployed now, I don't know if that's obvious, but when I used to have a job, I would like seriously skip wearing makeup on the day that I wanted to go home sick, and my boss would be like, get the hell out of here. You're gonna infect everyone with your natural face. If you, the bigger problem is that if you never wear makeup and then you wear it once, guys think you're hitting on them. You know, they're like, you adjusted your face for this one interaction. I'm always like, how did you know? You know, like, it just feels like really up close information. I feel like I might have lost some of the men in the audience, so I'll try to get you back. I like giving blowjobs. I like. It's always me. I can't remember the last time I finished a blowjob. I don't think anyone still does. I'm gonna start that rumor. Okay. I just lost the male audience. I do. It's like I actually did. I did finish a blowjob recently for the first time in literally 6 years, and it was not. Thank you. It was really not as bad as I had expected it to be. It's like I think that like 6 years ago, like everything I ate like tasted good. I was like in college. I ate a lot of fried food, but now like 6 years later, I'm like, is cum worse than quinoa? You know what I mean? It's like a Coke Diet Coke situation. Like I need them side by side to know the difference. It's not that bad, guys, so you can just eat it. Or don't, I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not up here trying to spread any kind of message. Anyone listening? Okay, into the void. I am at the point with the number of guys I've slept with where I can divide them like pretty evenly into tiers based on how good they were in bed. You know, like the top tier, A+, would fuck again. The middle tier, they were like pretty good. Like I could probably be talked into sleeping with them again, you know, they like asked. And then the bottom tier, I would also sleep with again, honestly. I was thinking that I've never slept with before. It's a lifetime membership. But just something useless, you know, like Blockbuster. Alright, if you guys own lifetime memberships to Blockbuster, you're probably feeling pretty silly now. I know I talk about sex all the time. I'm like so self-aware, and I know I might not be someone like every guy wants to sleep with. Like I might not be the kind of girl every guy's interested in fucking. Feel free to disagree among yourselves. I will say this in my defense: the guys who want to have sex with me, like, do end up having sex with me. I don't even, I know you guys kind of laugh at that, but that joke might not work since I got my fake eyelashes. So. No. Thanks, guys. Super impressed.
Yay, welcome everybody over here. Goddamn. Welcome to the show. You guys weren't here earlier. I crushed. I did. It's my show. It's my show. What if I start, my nose starts bleeding? By the way, what was your name again? Steve, if during the show my nose starts bleeding, will you tell me? Thanks, man. I can get blood on another shirt, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn, please, everybody, I tried to do this at the top of the show. Give it up real quick for Juan up there in the booth, everybody. Let him hear it, goddamn. He's the one that makes all the names change and stuff like that. He's really great. And also give it up for AJ, the guy at the door that took all your money. Let him hear it. He always gets less class, right? Because he's like, well, I fucking already gave him, money. But goddamn, okay, yeah. Pretty good. Off the top, you saw Ginny. Good show. We're doing great. Coming up next, you guys are gonna absolutely love this motherfucker. He's so funny. He's one of the first people I didn't want to move to New York, and I've loved him ever since. He was born at the Brooklyn Comedy Festival. He runs a great show and pizza place in Brooklyn. Everybody, lose your goddamn minds for our friend Avi Lutz. Come on.
And he runs a show at a pizza place. Save that for last. You guys impressed? All right. There's a lot of those. I think every comic on the show runs a show at pizza place, right? It's a very common thing. Hello, guys. Hello. Thank you for being here. This is great. You're all just like people off the street, not comedians? That's awesome. You don't get that at the pizza place. It's all comedians doing me a favor. Wow, this is so cool. So who loves their family? You guys love like your parents and like who actually likes hanging out with like their siblings? You like going home? You like talk to them a lot and share things. Yeah, I've always found people like that to be really weird and gross. I think that's a weird thing when people are like hang out with their parents and shit. Like if a guy tells you his best friend is his brother, he's a bad hang. You don't want to talk to that guy's a weirdo, get away from him. Oh, it's so gross to me. I have what I think is a healthy, happy relationship with my family where we don't speak or make eye contact a lot or talk, just don't know each other at all. That's how I think is a happy relationship. Like we all get together every holiday still. It's like a family still. My parents are still married, I have a bunch of siblings. We get together every holiday at my parents' house. But we're just like, everyone's in a different room most of the time, everyone looks at their phone, it's very awkward. Like if you were around the dinner table at Christmas, in the middle of it you'd be like, okay, did you guys fuck? Did I ever fuck once or something like that? What's going on? But no, we never fucked, it's just a very close cult family. And I'm happy with it. People are always like, oh, that's so sad. No, it's all I know, I'm happy about it. I just know it's weird because I got a ton of cousins too. And my cousins all love being a part of a family. And for some reason, they love being cousins with each other. Like, my cousins are a giant friend group. Once they all got to drinking age, they all hang out all the time. It's disgusting. Like, I'm friends with them on Facebook, and they're always in Mexico for some reason. All 30 of my cousins are always in Mexico, doing cartwheels on the beach, drinking like either a big Budweiser or a big cocktail. They're just like all the same person. And I scroll through my Facebook, and I'm like, do they fuck? I think my cousins fuck. I think that's what it is. Your cousin group? I felt like, no, you're not part of a cousin group? Oh, okay, you seemed touched by that, I'm sorry. I don't know how you're feeling anything. So Harrison was saying he, critiques weed, and he just moved here, doesn't know where to get weed. Hey buddy, I'm a weed delivery guy. That's my job. Did anyone know that's like a booming business? Like I don't like run it. I'm just a guy on this bike who delivers it. You guys have those guys come to your house? We deliver guys? No? None of you live around here? Well, yeah. So what I've been doing for a while. It's great. I love it. Good exercise. People that ask me, and yes, I do have to lie to my parents. I tell them I'm a drug dealer, so they're not ashamed that I'm just a drug delivery boy. The truth is I get yelled at by a drug dealer when I don't ride my bike fast enough. But I tell them, no, I'm a big-time drug dealer in New York, guys. Big time. It's a cool job. I deliver mostly to like rich people on the Upper East Side. People who like, you wouldn't think so. Like, I didn't know you could have a 4-foot bong and a chandelier. I thought there was a fork in the road of life, and you chose to be a bong guy or a chandelier guy. They have both. It's insane. They have spiral staircases, and like they buy $300 worth of weed. I was lied to. I could have been successful. I chose the weed fork. But it's always like rich douchebags in the Upper East Side who like don't know a lot about weed and stuff. And for some reason, 100% of the time, shirtless. They're always shirtless when I show up at their apartment. I don't know why, because they call me to come over. I'm not surprising them. It's like they're like, yes, bring weed over. And then they get out of their clothes and just wait by the door naked when we get there. And they never look good. Like, they never have an I've once seen almost an ab. You can tell he just started a program he wanted to show off to someone. He had kind of an ab. And they're all like real douchey guys. They always try to impress me. I get this a lot. I'll show them all the weeds. And the guy will go, what's the best one for sex, okay? That's all I want to know. Which one of these is the best weed for having sex, dude? Is this one gonna knock me out? So I'm gonna be up all night having sex tonight. And I'm like, okay, you said sex too many times for that to be true. I'm sure that's not true. And second of all, I think you want ecstasy. I think you meant to call an ecstasy guy. Weed doesn't help with sex. You ever think about what a penis is when you're high? You're like, that's a tube of skin that feels good when I touch it. It's filled with blood. It does not help with fucking. Not at all. So before I was a weed delivery guy, I was a security guard for 10 years, folks. 10 years. Oh my God, it hurts to say it every time. How did I lose a decade of my life? I don't know. This isn't part of the bit. I just can never get past this part where I realized I'm not an ex-con. I feel like an ex-con where just like a decade went away. I learned nothing. I actually would work down the block. Anyone here from my building? No? Okay, making sure. Yeah, I used to be a security guard down the block at one of the office buildings for 10 years. It was the worst decade of my life. Being a security guard is the worst job ever. No one knows that. People are always like, what about a custodian or something? And like, no, that's much better because you kind of respect a custodian. Like, if you have a story where you yell at a custodian, you're the asshole. You're not a good guy if you've ever chewed out a custodian. But we've all yelled at a security guard, right? We've all screamed in a security guard's face. Just close your eyes and imagine any situation where a security guard is walking up to you. You're already annoyed. You're already like, what the fuck, man? What do you want? I dropped my wallet, thank you. So, you're not a cop. You're not a cop, bro. People love to say that to me, tell me I'm not a cop. Which I know. So I worked in an office building down the block for like 10 years at the UN's bank, which is down the block. And I would sign people into the building, that was my job, and everyone was just so rude to me. They'd be like, people call you a loser all the time when you're a security guard, they just hate that you're doing your job. They'd be like, why don't you go back to college, buddy? And I'd be like, I didn't even go to college. I'm a loser, okay, yeah, you're right. So this one time I'm signing this guy into my building, like just a jerk. And I took his ID, my job was to put it through a little scanner, it prints out a badge, and I give the badge and I go in the building. This one time, I don't know what happened, it just didn't, I lost his ID. I was like, where'd it go? Where'd your ID go? And he's like getting really annoyed with me. It took like 15 seconds. And I finally found it under a piece of paper. I was like, oh, sorry, I don't know how it slid under there. Threw it back to him, thought he'd be fine, but he was really annoying. He's like, buddy, don't quit your day job. And he storms off into the building, and it hurt for a second. For a second, I was like, man, I hate myself. Then I was like, hold on. Either he doesn't understand what the term "don't quit your day job" means, and like when you use that, he never thought about the concept, he just heard it once and he says it all the time, or he thinks I have a second, somehow shittier job on the side that I maintain to one day get good at being a security guard. Like, I don't know what job that could be. You must think I run a glory hole from 9 to 5. I'm just sucking dicks out of a wall like, oh, one day I'll be a security guard. Just keep putting the time on me. Is that red light for me? Patrick, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going Florida. I have a weed guy now. I'm also going to hire him as my security guard. All right, we're going to keep this show rolling. Your next comedian, who's in from Philly, please give it up for Rachel Fogletto.
Thanks, guys. I am from Philly. It's not that different from New York. It's just a little smaller, a little dirtier, and every ATM looks like it would try to rob you itself if you try to use it. We're basically the same. I love New York, though, because you guys get the fuck out of the way. It's my favorite thing. Like, you just keep moving. You might be able to relate to this, too. Like, I have this thing I hate when people just stand on the sidewalk, like, in the way, like, where you have to walk, right? And in Philly, we're kind of a violent people, so we just like shove right past them. But I stopped doing that because I think that these people want the physical contact. It's like an S&M thing, and I won't give it to them. You know? I started doing a different thing. When I walk down the street and I see a bunch of people standing in the way, I scope out the group, and I pick out the person who I think is the weakest one. And when I walk by, I get real close to just that person. I lean in and I say in a voice low enough that only they can hear, "You're always in the way." And I just walk off into the distance. Solves that problem real quick in the long term. You guys ever notice how alcoholism is kind of like a gluten allergy? Some people really have it. Other people just use it to excuse their shitty personality. Last Christmas, my aunt was hovering over every bread dish and talking about how she couldn't eat it. She was like, "I can't have pepperoni bread. You know what happens when I eat pepperoni bread?" And we were like, "Yeah, you get wasted on eggnog and eat it all before anybody can have it." Let's get the fuck away from it right now. I keep getting invited to gender reveal parties. We know what these are now, right? Just a modernized kind of baby shower for the types of pregnant couples who probably got engaged at Whole Foods. And they invite all their friends back to their house to creatively reveal the gender of the baby they're about to have. I know, I could give just as much of a shit as you guys do about that. I just miss the good old days, right? Where I could spend the long Sunday afternoon with my closest female acquaintances and watch someone open up an expensive gift I paid for using the money I saved by not getting pregnant. It's like what happened to tradition, you know? My family is very Italian. We're at the stage in our relationship where they want to know when I'm having kids myself, which is such an uncomfortable conversation to have, you know? It's personal. Because like anytime a family member is like, "Rachel, when are you going to have babies?" All it sounds like in my head is, "Rachel, when are you going to stop giving all those blowjobs?" I don't know, Nana. It's a personal question. I don't know. I don't have anything against babies. It's fine. I used to be a baby. I'm safe. I'm a feminist. I grew up in a feminist household, which is just a white woman way of saying your dad left. The hardest part about feminism for me is buying all these drinks for myself. Am I right? I dated outside my race a lot, and people think that that's like a thing or a fetish. And I try to tell them that it's not a thing for me because no one ever told me no. Growing up, my mom was very liberal. She would say things like, "Rachel, I don't care if you date a guy who's black, white, brown, or purple. I don't care if you date another woman. She said, I would only care if you dated someone who treated you like shit. So guess what my thing is? It's real easy to find, you know? I like to look at the bright side of things, you know, like every dark cloud has a silver lining. At the end of every bad relationship, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's a gaslight. That was for me. I just want somebody that doesn't judge me, right, or accepts me for who I am, but you can't get around it even in professional settings. Like when I went to my doctor for my annual physical, she asked me a bunch of personal questions, but then judged me on my life choices when I answered her. She was like, Rachel, can you tell me exactly how many alcoholic beverages you have in a week? And I was like, can you tell me exactly who I got HPV from? We're playing that game, your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, she's good. She made me get tested for ADHD this year, which is weird because I'm in my 30s. I didn't really think I fit the bill, and she's like, actually, it's very underdiagnosed in adult women. And I was like, well, anything to help dismantle the patriarchy? Give me the test, sure. So I called a psychologist. She's like, what do you need? I said, my doctor wants you to test me for ADHD. And she said, do you think that you have ADHD? And I said, is this the test? Is this how easy it's been to get Adderall this whole time? Oh no, I did get tested and I totally have it. And I'll tell you this, it's weird to find out you actually need a drug you used to abuse recreationally. I used to buy Adderall from my friends so I could focus on drinking longer. It's how you wake up in a warehouse, a bottle of wine, and 240s later next to a guy on house arrest who is your 99% match on OkCupid. Not even a joke, just a thing that happened. Now I have to meet with my doctor every few months so she can decide if I still need Adderall, so I always make sure I'm a little bit late to that appointment. A lot of people are like, did it suck learning so late in life because you look back at the academic stuff, you could have gotten like extended deadlines in college? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But what really sucks is how it affected my sex life. And you're like, how does ADHD affect your sex life? And I'll tell you, I have too much ADHD to keep up with dirty talk. Can't do it. I was with a guy who said my name during sex. He was like, oh, Rachel. And I was like, what? Yeah, you ever sleep with someone that should have been a one-night stand, but you do the right thing? I did that, and I was with the man, and he was on top, as they are, and in the middle of it, he went, oh yeah, this is great. You should really call me more. Yeah, there's nothing like realizing you made a terrible mistake, and that mistake is inside of you. I don't think it's just me, I just think that dirty talk's weird. I mean, that's what it is. And I was with somebody that actually, the final straw that broke my back was I was with a guy I really liked, and during sex, he wanted me to say to him, this is your pussy. Yeah, he wanted me to say, this is your pussy. And the funny thing is, he ghosted me. So how much time can pass before it's weird for me to tell him to come and get his stuff? So I was like, no. I have too much ADHD to 69. I'm going to keep going with it. I actually think 69ing is stupid. I don't know why we're still doing it as a people. I know it's controversial. I'm going to win you over. I talked about this to a guy friend of mine, and he was like, oh, what, you don't like sucking dick? And I'm like, no, I like sucking dick. But do you want me to actually do it? Like, you're trying to distract me from a thing I like with a thing I love. That's like asking a white person to give a speech in the middle of a wedding. In the middle of the speech, the DJ just starts playing Piano Man. Too much to do, guys. Thanks so much.
You guys had a lot of sex talk tonight on the show. It's an adult show. What it is, I don't know. I've been reading about these things. Maybe you guys, you're like a smart idiot. You guys know about these things, orgies? You guys hear about this shit? Right? Like fuck parties they have, you know? I've never done one. My wife is not into it, and that's fine. But I look at pictures of them all the time, you know? I'm always like looking at these pictures of them. And I like to, you know, I like to learn about our world. And I was looking at these photos of these orgies, and I started noticing a trend in all these pictures of the orgies. Is right before they all get together and start fucking, everybody looks so goddamn serious in these photos. That's not what I would be like. Nobody's smiling. Everybody's, you know, and I'm just like, come on, you're about to fuck your friends. Have some fun. Maybe they're strangers. It's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So this is what I would do if I was going to have an orgy. This is what I would do. First thing I would do is I would probably just finish up at my wife's funeral because God, she's gonna be, there's no way she's letting me do that shit while she's alive, you know? And I'll like hug her mom, you know, and I'll be really good, then I'll leave and I'll probably go right on over to the orgy, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'll change my jacket because they trap smells and nobody wants to bring a funeral smell to an orgy smell, you know? Everybody in the room's getting ready to fuck, they're like, this smell like that funeral home up the block! And they probably would all know, you know? But so then this is what I would do, is right in the room when everybody's in these photos, the part where everybody's all like looking so goddamn awkward, what I would do is, because I like to have fun, I would hire like an old man actor, you know, that I'd hire him to walk in the room, but he would be dressed in like head to toe like a train conductor's outfit, you know, with like the big fancy top, and then so he would just walk in the room right before everybody fucked, and he'd just go, all aboard! And then fucking everybody would laugh, right? They're like, oh, it's like the train guy, and then they all get together and fuck that old man, you know? And I'm like, well, this is how you have fun at an orgy, you know? It'd be great. And then what I also would do, I'd go one step further because I like wordplay, and I would have a sign up on the wall that just said, come plus unity equals community, you know? And so everybody would be like, God, it's like a pun, and then they go fuck that old guy, you know? And he doesn't have to die, but if he does, God will all remember it more, you know? And then everybody comes back to my orgies, all right. Not a one fucking person in there thought you were going to get that take on orgies tonight, you know what I mean? You know what, yeah, they do look like they're sad. Okay, well, we're going to keep the show going because my nose bleeding, dude. You're going to be honest about it. Cool. All right, you guys are fantastic. I like you guys, right? You laugh so good. You laugh good. What are you guys, a family or friends or what? Friends, cool. Ooh, when Augie was shitting on families hanging out, were you in the middle being like, no! They're the only ones I know here! That's great. Okay, coming up next, you guys are in for a treat. We really have a good, we don't book idiots on the show. That's like a thing that's like we're known for. But tonight we're really lucky. We've got a lot of friends from out of town who you're not going to see this person anywhere else in New York City this week. Everybody please go crazy all the way from Cincinnati. Our friend, Blake Hannick. Come on!
Hello, everybody. Hi. How you guys doing? Good? Hell yeah, I'm doing good. I feel good. I think my antidepressants are going to start working soon. I've been taking them for 4 years, but tonight feels like my night. You know what I mean? It feels good. This is fun. You guys are good. That was a lie. I had to go to the doctor recently to see if my antidepressants were working, and I feel like if you go to the doctor just to see if your antidepressants are working, they shouldn't be allowed to weigh you. Like, that's a direct conflict of interest at that point. It's gonna mess up the test results a little bit. Like, do you wanna bring up anything else I'm insecure about before we talk about the state of my mental health, Doc? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and step on this scale here, then after that we're gonna take you in this exam room. We're gonna do this new exam, where you bring in your ex-girlfriend, and she measures the size of your penis, using a ruler made out of her new boyfriend's penis. And wouldn't you know it, it's 12 inches. Same size as a ruler. Then after that, we're going to try to figure out why you've been feeling so sad recently. Can't imagine why, you small dick fat fuck. It's fun. I went to a wedding not too long ago. I got to witness the greatest best man speech of all time. As this dude gets up there, and I swear to God, he goes, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. My name is Dan, and I'm the manager of the Richmond Papa John's. And then he paused to let that sink in. So I just started clapping. I was like, hell yeah, you are too. This is why we came, baby. This is gonna be amazing. But then here's the thing, rest of the speech, not at all about Papa John's. Not even about pizza. It was like him and the groom growing up together and shit. It was weird. But that makes me think that's how Dan introduces himself all the time, right? I like to imagine Dan at AA. He's just like, hi, my name's Dan, manager of the Richmond Papa John's. And I'm an alcoholic. Everybody's like, hi, Dan, manager of the Richmond Papa John's. He knows this is supposed to be anonymous, right? So he makes a reservation at a restaurant. He's like, yeah, should be the manager of the Richmond Papa John's. Yeah, table for one. It's lonely at the top. So I don't want Dan to die by any means, but I would love to read Dan's headstone at some point. It says, here lies Dan, former manager of the Richmond Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, better son, better father, better husband, who's now in a better place. Domino's. If any place is a better place than Papa John's. You guys are racist. I don't know why I brought it up. I'm not going to talk about it. My girlfriend now, she's pretty cool. My girlfriend told me I was nothing like her ex-boyfriend the other day, which I did not take as a compliment. Because here's the thing. That dude's name is Xander, and in my head, he's perfect, right? Like, he probably makes more than $10,000 a year. He's never had his wages garnished. And probably makes more than $5,000 a year. You know, king shit. Things I can't do. But she just keeps talking about Xander, talking about Xander, talking about Xander. And eventually she tells me that Xander is the house DJ at a Dave & Buster's. And an immediate wave of relief just washes over me. Because that's the lamest job in the world. I like to imagine what it'd be like to watch him DJ at a Dave & Buster's. I feel like it'd be something like this. It'd be like, what's up, y'all? It's DJ D&B in the house. It's Tuesday night, and y'all know what that means. Half price apps till 6. And I'ma be spinning these 1s and 2s in between the air hockey table and the claw machine until 8:30. Now before we get down and dirty on this dance floor tonight, I want to give a quick shout out to my main bitch, Brittany, who's celebrating her 6th birthday with us tonight. Brittany's our D&B VIP, so come on down to the DJ booth to get your free birthday tokens. Play, girl. I've thought about Xander a lot. Probably too much, but here's the thing, it's hard not to. Because after my girlfriend told me he's the house DJ at the Dave & Buster's, she then revealed to me that Xander is also a male model. So now everywhere I look, I just think about Xander, right? Like I'll see a male model in a magazine, I'll be like, is that Xander? I'll see a male model in a commercial, I'll be like, is that Xander? I'll drive by Xander's house at 3 in the morning, I'll be like, is that Xander? Probably. That's probably Xander. Then my girlfriend tries to get so weird. She's like, I never think about Xander. I never think about Xander. I'm totally over Xander. Which is bullshit, right? Because I'm not even over Xander. Like, how am I supposed to trust somebody who left Xander to be with a dude who would leave her for Xander? Guys, what's one more thing I get out of here? My girlfriend and I aren't fighting. We like to talk about getting married. It's a very healthy relationship. The other day she told me she wants us to write her vows, but she wants me to write both of them. And the only problem I have with that is I have no idea why she wants to marry me, but apparently she also has no idea why she wants to marry me. So at least we have that in common. I did write her vows to me the other day, and boy, it just ended up sounding like some 5th grader's book report on a book they didn't read. So here are her vows to me, written by me. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines love as a strong affection for another arising out of sexual desire and tenderness. But I define love as changing someone until they fit your physical and emotional needs. A lot of people say they can't count the reasons they got married, but I can. There are only 4. Reason number 1, you asked. Reason number 2, I love supporting you financially. It makes me feel like a strong woman. Reason number 3, I love how weak you are. Remember that time you cried because you couldn't open that jar of salsa? And then I said, have no fear, your strong, independent woman is here. do finger snaps. Reason number 4, you were so adorable when you proposed. I mean, you were on one knee with those tears in your eyes, trying to open that jar of salsa. Anyways, I never know how to end these things, which is how we got here in the first place. Thanks, guys. Everybody down.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen! This is crazy. My middle name is Xander. It's not, but I did fuck his girlfriend. Okay. Your next comedian coming to the stage. He's been a part of the Bridgetown Comedy Festival. Please give it up for Rock Hoffmeta!
So good to be here. How y'all doing? You guys having an okay year? Having a good 2018? I don't know if you're like fuck 2018 people or whatever. I turned 29 this year. Any 29-year-olds here? Couple? Cool. The rest of you just like hip teens or whatever. Like vape and eat ass or something. I don't know what teens do. I don't know what eating ass is. It's just fun to say, right? I'm 29, I'm legally 30, and if that sounds confusing, it's because it is. What happened is I immigrated here from India with my family when I was like a year old. An immigration officer flubbed my paperwork, changed my birth year from 1989 to 1988, rendering me a year older on all of my American documentation, and my parents didn't think it was that big of a deal. They just left that right where it was. And then they told me when I turned 23. Let's fuck up, right? It's a weird time to tell someone that. I don't know, it's kind of cool though. I think it's kind of cool now. I was worried about it for a while, but now like I get it. Like it was cool. I got to drive a year early. I get to drink a year early. I get to rub it into like my stupid kids' faces when they grow up. They're like, I'm 13. It's like, oh yeah. When I was your age, I was 14, so try to keep up, kiddo. Come on. This is embarrassing for you. I am a big dumb brown guy. That's how I identify. Thank you very much. I'm a big dumb brown guy. I'm not Muslim, though. A lot of people think that about me. Brown, not Muslim, constantly get questions about Islam. And like being brown, not Muslim in America now, basically like wearing a red shirt to Target. That's where I'm at. So if I can only wear red shirts, entire world is Target. And like I get it, I get what I bring to the table, like my general vibe. I look like any of your brown friends if they like owned a skateboard and voted for Harambe or whatever. Like I used to think I knew what I looked like, and then a coworker very recently told me my face reminds her of Scar from The Lion King. That'll mess up your day, right? Everything you believed in about yourself just unravels before you. I'm like, what is it? She's like, I don't know, it's just your skin color and your black beard, I guess. I'm like, oh, thanks for putting it delicately. Thanks for that, Lisa. We're going to talk to HR later. I look like Scar from The Lion King, which is surprising for 2 reasons. 1, I don't look like Scar from The Lion King. And 2, I never thought I would miss being called Aladdin. Never thought I would be nostalgic for that. At least that dude is a person, right? I've been living in New York a little over a year. I've been dating a lot of white women recently. You're welcome. Where are my white women at, huh? All right, most places. That's how that works. That's how demographics work. I was hanging out with a gal. We don't do much. We just like hang out, watch movies and stuff. And we were watching the movie Looper. Have you guys seen Looper? Right, some loop heads in the house. Cool. This is related. Don't worry. I'm not going to go on a weird Looper tangent, but. We were watching, it's like about time travel. It's kind of about time travel. And she looked at me and she's like, hey, would you go back in time and try to stop 9/11? And I was like, yeah, probably. And then I thought about it. If I went back in time and tried to stop 9/11, no one would believe me. Like, I'd just be this tiny brown kid running around telling everyone about a terrorist attack. And I had nothing to do with it. But then 9/11 would happen. And all of those same people would just be like, that fucking kid had something to do with it, right? Because as a minority, you can't go very far back in time. You can go back to like 1994, anything past that, you're really pushing your luck. My friend's like, what? You want to go back to like the 20s? Like, why? So you experience vintage racism? I wanted a dude with a wax mustache to be rude to me. I'd just go to Williamsburg. I could be back there. If I went back in time, like as I am now, I'd show up there, and like a white person would approach me, probably a man, and he'd look at me and he'd be like, hey, where are you from? And I'd be like, the future? It's like, yeah, but where are you really from? Because that shit never ends. We were also, we were watching a documentary about, we watch a lot of true crime stuff. That's what we like to do, it's for fun. We were watching a documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer. That's a fun romantic activity. Feel free to use that. But we were watching this documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer and describing all the heinous things Jeff Dahmer did. And then at one point they're just like, Jeffrey Dahmer had an IQ of 145. It's like, yeah, does that mean he was right? Does that mean we should be eating people? Like, what is this documentary trying to tell? It's always serial killers where we do that with. We never do that with any other type of criminal, right? It's always like random positive trait. We never see anything that's like, not only did Osama bin Laden kill thousands of Americans, but you know what else? He always paid his rent on time, so not such a bad guy after all. A little pushback on the bin Laden apologism, that's cool. Apologism, I don't know if that's a word, but we just used it. I'm trying to read the news less, it's very depressing to me. I don't want to talk about Trump, that's boring. The funniest thing about him though is that he's like so desperate to be an alpha, and he's not an alpha, he's just like a beta cuck like the rest of us. Like, and that's cool, I love being a beta cuck, I take a lot of pride in that, but I feel like it's hard to be an alpha in 2018. I feel like the most alpha thing you can do is like show up to a party where less than 5 people are there and then Irish goodbye the fuck out of there. That's brave. But like there used to be a time where presidents like really tried to like prove their manliness because they thought that was important. And like in 1912, Teddy Roosevelt, he was running for his 3rd term and he was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was going to give him this big speech and he got out of his vehicle and he was shot by an assassin because that's who shoots presidents. And his aides were like, hey, do you want to go to the hospital? And he's like, no, I'm going to give the speech. Holy shit, guys. I almost didn't come to this show tonight because I was sleepy, kind of. This motherfucker had a goddamn bullet lodged in his goddamn stomach, went up there and talked about taxes and tariffs and witches or whatever they cared about back then. Gives the speech, standing ovation, historic moment in American politics, and then come November, he loses the election to Woodrow Wilson. That's nuts, right? Like you're a voter, you seal that, he takes a bullet, you vote for Woodrow Wilson? That's like if your husband had cancer, survived cancer, and then you just left your husband to go fuck Woodrow Wilson. All right, have a good night, bye guys.
I met everybody. Let me hear it. I wanted to say, he reminded me of a quick thing. I'm going to tell you this. You're going to love this, I guarantee you. You guys are always excited. The rest of you guys are going to take a break, look at your phones or something. Okay, so he was talking about what would happen if he went back in time, right? I think about that shit a lot. Like if I had a time machine, and I finally figured out what I would do if I had a time machine. And you guys are like this. What I would do if I had a time machine is, first thing I would do is I'd go back to 2006. And you guys remember the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, right? I would go back, and right before that stingray gets him, I fucking grab that stingray, right? And then I take it, and I get in the time machine with the stingray, okay? And then what I do is I go back to the 1860s, right? And then I go and I take that stingray, and I go fucking kill John Wilkes Booth with that stingray. I stab that motherfucker with it before he can get to Lincoln, you know? And then I get back in that time machine with the stingray, and I go forward in time, and then I would go to like the early 1900s, and I would go to like a baby Adolf Hitler, not teenage Adolf Hitler, right? Yeah, teenagers. I go get like kill him with that goddamn stingray, right? And he's dead too. And I move forward, and I go get Sirhan, you know, and like kill him with that fucking stingray, you know. Keep moving forward. Lee Harvey Oswald, kill him with the fucking stingray, right? Bin Laden, get him with the stingray, you know? I'm going through time, I'm having adventures, I'm talking to the stingray. And then what I would do is I would come to the present, after I kill those fuckers, I'd come to the present, and I'd go to the ocean, and I'd release the stingray back into the ocean, you know? And then I'd just walk over and hug my best friend, Steve Irwin, so fucking tight, you know? Okay. Like I was saying, you guys are here on a great night. We have guests from all over the place. Our next guest, she's funny and hilarious. I met her on the road. She performs all over the country. But she recently moved to Boston, which, as you guys all know, is the California of the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, please go crazy for our friend Caitlin McPhee.
All right. So I just went through a breakup recently, but like I think it's for the best because I was like dating this dude, and like I don't look like I should be doing that, you know? So like anytime me and this guy went into public at all, we would get the weirdest reactions. Like one time we went to this bagel shop, and there was this older woman working there who kept calling me young man, which is like fair. I mean, you guys have eyes that can see me. But then she asked if my ex-boyfriend was my brother, and he is black, so I was like, well, this woman is a hero, actually. She doesn't see race, she doesn't see gender, you know, she might not see at all, actually. She might be really blind. I didn't get the right bagel, so my boyfriend at the time, he was like, is that hard for you that people think that you're a boy sometimes? And I was like, I don't really care, but you know, I thought it might be hard for you that people think your girlfriend is a boy, and like a little one at that, you know? He was like, oh, I don't give a shit. I know that you have tits under your Oshkosh bagosh jacket. Okay. See, yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like, I've been called young man, I've been called boy. I've been called little buddy before. Yeah, so I used to work at this Starbucks, and for some reason at the Starbucks we had like all these like super hot dads come in all the time. There was this dad that came in one day, he was so hot, I was like, oh shit, I want to fuck that dad. It's like, man, I want to fuck that dad until he pays off my student debt. That dad is so hot. And then I handed him his coffee, and he was like, thanks, little buddy. And then he tussled my hair, which like still made me come, but I've had a lot of student debt, so this is cool. New York is cool. I did a show one time in Danville, Kentucky. Yeah, the comics that should not do shows in a place like that are the ones that look as gay as I do, you know? Like a pretty weird place. Like someone there asked me if I was related to Ellen. It's like, what? That's not even how it works. Someone else was like, where do you shop at? The lesbian store? I was like, actually, I shop in the little boy section at Old Navy. So yeah, I shop at the lesbian store. The time I'm doing there, I just see all of my best friends. So yeah, people assume a lot that I'm a lesbian. I'm not though. I'm actually bisexual, and so I was like, kind of like scared to tell my parents this for a little bit. But what helped me is one night I was drinking with my sister, and then later that night I walked by the bathroom to find my drunk sister on the floor crying. And when I asked her what was wrong, she said, I think I'm a reptile. And then I was not afraid to tell my parents I'm bisexual. Oh, you're bisexual? Please, our other daughter needs heat lamps. Those bulbs are expensive. Yeah, so I told my parents, but I mean, until 5th grade, I dressed like a boy, and I asked my parents to call me Max, so they weren't exactly surprised when I came out to them, you know. Like, they kept a really, like, caring eye contact with me, but also they exchanged money under the table. Yeah, no, they were cool, very supportive. Their one thing was like, they're like, so Caitlin, why are you telling us this? Like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, what? No. And they were like, well, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, what? No. And they're like, so you're telling us that you're interested in double the amount of people and you're still alone? I was like, damn, that is some hurtful math. I fuck, alright? You guys believe me when I say it like that? I fuck. No, yeah, actually, recently I thought maybe I was pregnant, which was scary. So I had to go buy a pregnancy test, and I had never done that before. And so it took me a long time to actually find it in the store. And when I finally found the pregnancy test, they were in between the condoms and the tampons. That's so cruel if you don't want to be buying a pregnancy test. Where are the pregnancy tests? Oh, they're in between the thing you should have been using and the thing you wish you were buying. So have fun with that one at self-checkout. Let's see. Has anyone here ever used a strap-on? I really thought you'd be better in New York. My gosh, really? Okay, whatever. All right, well, I have before to have sex with some ladies. You guys believe me again? No. Okay, so like the first time I used a strap-on, I was like very into it. I thought it was like very sexy. But also, like a little bit, it made me feel like a Mr. Potato Head. Like I like put it on and I was like, all right, what's next? Where's my bedroom eyes? That's so dumb. Let's see. I was hanging out with this guy recently, and this dude, like just like very like casually and like kind of rudely, just like called someone a faggot. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Come on, don't say that. And he was like, hey, I've sucked a dick before. He's like, how many dicks do I gotta suck until I can say faggot? I was like, what do you think this is, dude? Monopoly? Like, suck a dick, pass go, collect your I can say faggot card. That's not how it works. I don't think that him, like, sucking that dick was even him being gay. I think that's just how bad he wanted to say faggot. You're not gay if it's for homophobia. Let's see. I did this other show recently, and another comic on the show, he told me that if I wanted to do better at comedy, I needed to like grow my hair out and be more feminine. Yeah, he's like, because the way that you look, like you're making a statement. I was like, seriously, dude, a statement? I mean, what even is the statement? I want to go skateboarding with Peter Pan? So he was like implying that I'm not feminine enough. I think I'm extremely feminine because you know what the most feminine thing is getting your looks criticized by men. I know, I'm a hero, it's fine. Let's see. So yeah, I just moved to Boston. I'm actually from Kentucky. I grew up there on a farm, which was very weird for me because I have always looked like this. I've always looked like a gay little boy. Like even when I was a kid. So like in my family, they've always looked like just a normal Kentucky farm family. So like our family pictures from that time when I was a kid look so strange. Like those pictures look like my actual family like sent me to that farm to turn me straight. There was like no pictures from that time in our house because it looks like my parents were just involved in some kind of weird Mike Pence program. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much.
Give it over Taylor, everybody! All right, you know what time it is? It's free beer time! Free beers! Oh, then you clap, you don't want the beers! Oh, then you want the beers. Oh. Is this like a totally sober audience then? Okay, well, I feel, no, give them water. Give them water. Who wants to come up here and tell their story of how they got sober? How about we do that instead?
You guys want a beer?
Well, I wish I was gay sometimes. That'd be nice. Like every time, I've always wished I could like change my sexuality based on the party I was at. Wouldn't that be nice if you just walk into a party and you're like, ugh, this party's all dudes. Nice. Oh yeah. That'd be great. Have sex with a lot more people. I lost my virginity when I was 17 years old. Is that a normal age to lose your virginity? That's normal? Okay, thank you, madame. Because every time I'm in a group of guys and I say 17, all the macho men start piping up. And they're like, oh yeah, 17. Lost mine when I was 12. Oh yeah, 12. I was 9. Oh yeah, 9. I was 5. Oh yeah, 5. My mom died in childbirth because she had to push out me and the chick I was fucking. Yeah! Hey, good for you. I just don't like guys who brag about sex. I think when a guy brags about sex, he should also have to include what he's compensating for. Like, yeah, man, I fucked her all night. And also, I can't read. Alright, well, we're going to keep this show rolling right along. Your next comedian coming to the stage, she's been in videos for Comedy Central. Please give it up for Samantha Ruddy!
I've been having a weird summer. I can't talk on the phone in public anymore because I look like all those white ladies who call the cops on black guys. I got a phone call next to a lemonade stand the other day. I was like, it's my mom. Not the cops, just my mom. I mean, she's kind of a narc. I'm not a narc. I have been drinking less, though. I don't know. I can't party like I used to. Like, I threw up last night and I only had 3 drinks after that. We're having fun. I have been drinking less. I've been drinking a lot of Snapple lately. I'm a big fan. I like the fun facts that they put on there. You pop it open, it's like, oh cool, they have goldfish's memory span of 6 seconds. It's pretty good. I wish other drinks had that. I wish there was like Mountain Dew facts. Can you imagine how trashy Mountain Dew facts would be? Just be like, Mountain Dew fact, can't get pregnant if you pull out. Snapple fact, the longest case of hiccups was 3 years. Mountain Dew fact, the age of consent in Indiana is 16. Who was driving these? One of them's just like, Jeff Gordon fucking rules. God. That's the F word right in the cap. That's wild. I've been waiting for the NBA to come back. I want it back. I want it back, guys. I love the NBA. I do. I used to be an NFL person. Then I got in the NBA. It's quite gentler, you know? Like, even the team names in the NBA are less aggressive than NFL team names. The NFL is like, we're the Chicago Bears. We're fierce. The NBA is like, we're the Utah Jazz. We're difficult to appreciate. We're the Denver Nuggets. We're 4 for $1. It's much more whimsical. Yeah. That one was just for my chicken nugget fans here. I know you're here. You always come out in numbers. Typically 4, 8, 12, or 20. I think Wendy's is the best chicken nuggets. America come together on something. I think Wendy's is the best chicken nuggets. In the spirit of fairness, I also think they have the worst toys, you know? Like, Wendy's has no idea how to cater to children. Do you guys remember in the 90s when all the fast food places were like, what are kids like? And McDonald's was like, oh yeah, Beanie Babies. And Burger King was like, oh, Pokemon. And then Wendy's was just like, baked potatoes? What about old men named Dave? You kids like that? Chili? Wendy's has such bad toys. It's been 10 minutes long. Wendy's has such bad toys that they're accidentally the most progressive of all the fast food places. Because the other ones are like, here's a girl's toy, it's a doll. Or here's a boy's toy, it's a truck. And Wendy's is just out here like, here's a rock, it's gender neutral. Throw it in your friend's car, taking a Wendy's. I just spent some time in Colorado. Colorado's always been cool, but we didn't realize until they legalized weed. Like when Colorado legalized weed, it was like they lost the glasses and took their ponytail down. And the rest of the country was like, you've been a hot chick the whole time. And it has. It really, she's all down to the country. I think we're going to legalize weed soon. I do. Yeah. You know, like enough with this Ross and Rachel, will they, won't they? Let's just do it. Yeah. One of the only arguments you'll hear against legalizing weed is that it'll be bad for families. But I think cigarettes are way worse for families. Because like a ton of people have dads who went out to get cigarettes and never came back. My friend's dad smokes weed, never leaves the house. I have a girlfriend right now. She's great. We're fighting. She's 33. I'm 26. My friends are like, well, maybe she's too mature for you. You should try dating somebody younger. But I'm 26. I'm not going to date a 19-year-old. Dating a 19-year-old is like owning a gun in New York. It's technically legal, but you can't bring it anywhere. We've been talking about maybe we want to have kids one day. I don't think I'd be a good mom. I recently adopted an otter from the aquarium. And when I went to visit, I was like, that's my otter. I would know my otter anywhere. And the aquarium guy was like, actually, these are the sea lions? I was like, don't tell me how to raise my son. He's an otter. Also, having a baby is just super expensive for lesbians. Artificial insemination costs $5,000. I'm happy. I'm lucky, though, because one of my guy friends is like in love with me. So I just asked him, will you lend me $5,000? A lot of lesbians don't like it when men hit on them. I don't mind it. I was gonna hang out with a guy the other day, and he just like wasn't picking up on social cues or outfits. He kind of leaned over to me and he was like, you know, I think it's pretty sexy when a woman asks me out. I was like, me too. I'm from a pretty conservative family, but they try hard to be accepting. They don't always say the right thing though. Like the other day I was sitting with my dad and my girlfriend. And my dad kind of just cocked his head at us and he was like, so which one of you wears the pants? And I had to be like, well, actually, in a same-sex relationship, you're not really beholden to the same societal power dynamics that designate one partner the submissive one and the other the boss. And then I looked over at my girlfriend and I was like, that's what you said, right, babe? That's what it said in the article you made me read? I read it. It was good. I'm from a blended family, so I have like a bunch of half-siblings and whatnot. We get along pretty well. One time, though, I was arguing with my dad, and my dad was just being a total know-it-all. And out of anger, I yelled, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my real dad. And here's the thing, he is my real dad. But for a split second, he thought I knew something, but he didn't. I won that argument. Not funny bad for that. I'm trying to dress better. I never know what's appropriate to wear anymore. The other day I was wearing a shirt that had the F word on it, and a mom came up to me and she was like, you should take that shirt off because I don't want to have to explain to my son what that word means. And I was like, lady, if I take this shirt off, you're going to have to explain a lot more than the F word. I feel like I could get away with more outfits if I was in better shape. I'm not in good shape, but I have friends who are. I know they are. Because they post about it on Facebook every day. There's this app that tracks your running stats. It'll say things like, John ran for 4 miles today and earned his calorie incinerator badge. Oh, your right arm is long, congratulations. I wish there was an app that tracked how much Netflix I watched. Just like, Sam watched every episode of Tiny House Hunters. Earned her, haven't got off the couch in 2 weeks back. Why don't you go over to her house and see if she's okay? That'd be my ideal app. Any Tiny House Hunter fans here? Yeah? Oh, I love it. I love it. For those of you who do not know, Tiny House Hunters is a show where people agree to be on a show called Tiny House Hunters. And then they walk into a room and they go, kind of small. Best show on TV. All right, good night.
Everybody, let me hear it. Okay. I love her talking about her dad. I'll tell you this quick thing about my dad, and then I'm going to bring up your headliner, and I guess we great. But I'll say this dumb thing about my dad, Carl. He's crazy. His name's Carl with a K, so you know he's not a guy to fuck around, you know? But he's got a weird sense of humor. He one time found this kiosk at the mall that sold funny T-shirts, you know, like like novelty shirts that just say weird sentences on. And he just bought the lot of them. Like he bought them all. And so like one year at Thanksgiving dinner, he wore a T-shirt that said, "My wife ran away with my best friend. Boy, do I miss him." Right? That's a shirt. We know that. Here's the thing. We're at Thanksgiving table. I'm like, Mom is right there. Also, your best friend is her brother Marty, who is right there. Like, that's a weird shirt to wear, you know? He also bought a leather jacket with like fringe on it, you know? And on the back it says, if you can read this, the bitch fell off. I'm like, Dad, you don't have a motorcycle. This makes no sense. Don't call Mom a bitch. It's Thanksgiving, you know? All right, I thought that would be worth it. Are you guys ready to bring up? We're gonna bring up your final comment tonight. Is it? Are you guys good? How are we feeling? We feeling good? Good? Great. Good laughter. Everything on board? What a treat. He's a fantastic stand-up comedian. Performs all over the country. You guys might have seen him on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Everybody, lose your minds, go crazy for our friend Martin Urbano.
When I say the, you say poor. Kill the. Smart crap. Thank you all so much. Appreciate that. Thank you all so much. I just want to kick things off, kick my set off before I really get into it with just a little bit of everybody doing the hokey pokey. There we go. You put your right hand up, you put your right hand down, you put your right hand up and you shake it all around. Alright, so it wasn't quite everybody. Let's go ahead, try that again. Here we go. You put your right hand up, you put your right hand down, you put your right hand up now. Who's a pedophile? Smart class, smart class. I really appreciate that. But I would like to get serious for just a moment. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, come on, pretend. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And if you're horny and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're horny and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're horny and you know it, and your loins will surely show it. If you're horny and you know it, talk to me after the show. All right. If you're racist and you know it, stay real quiet. Okay, cool, okay. Feel really good to know what I'm dealing with. Thank y'all so much. My name is Martin Urbano, but you can call me by my street name, Martin Boulevard. And let me just say a little bit of my friends. They say that I have an old soul because I'm dying of early onset Alzheimer's. All right, what else about me? I'm not gay, but I would have sex with a man for $1 million, right? But I'm not gonna pay more than that. What else about me? My friends, they say that I have an old soul because I'm dying of early onset Alzheimer's. Anyway, so we can all agree that stand-up comedy is dead, but I decided to pivot and get into writing. I'm trying to be more of a writer. I think print is the future. So I started writing this piece. It's been really hard for me to get published anywhere, I think because my writing voice is sort of a cross between David Sedaris and Steve Bannon, but I've been working on this piece that I'd love to read to you right now. It's still a work in progress, but I'm going to read this. It's called Finally, a guy defends a celebrity who was accused of sexual assault. Alright. I think the Me Too movement is important, but we should be careful about listening to some women who might be making false claims about me personally. It's a dangerous and frightening time to be a man, especially if you've treated women terribly your entire life. It just seems more and more like this witch hunt is finding nothing but a ton of rapists. Hey, you're supposed to be looking for witches. But I believe the Me Too movement officially went too far when an incredible entertainer and personal hero of mine became another casualty in this despicable PC agenda intent on ruining men's careers and lives. You see, I was Harvey Weinstein's #1 fan. It always inspired me how he was a big, ugly, angry guy with lots of money. If he's not allowed to produce movies anymore, who could possibly do it? Literally anyone else? You make an interesting point, but you miss my point. You see, he's already made things I enjoy, like Scary Movie 5 and Piranha 3 Double D. So imagine what else he could make in his lifetime. Scary Movie 6, Piranha 3 some, the possibilities are endless. If this is the way we're treating someone like Harvey Weinstein, who barely did anything wrong, where will it stop? Can you guarantee it'll stop right before it gets to me? Of course you can't, and that's a problem. I don't want to live in a country where if I give a girl a compliment, all of a sudden I'm fired as a substitute teacher. We need to think before we let society run rampant with believing women. I mean, don't these many accusations that have been confirmed by many people throughout the entire entertainment industry seem a little suspicious? Why are they barely speaking out now when we're listening to them? To me, it just doesn't make sense to me. Harvey Weinstein was always nice to me, a fellow angry ugly man he met at the airport once. And sure, my ex-girlfriend said he kept leering at her and it made her feel uncomfortable or something. But that doesn't mean anything. She's always been like that. But this is more than just a simple case of he said, she whined. This has become like an assassination attempt, but worse. What did Harvey Weinstein even do wrong? Can anyone even explain it? Because I never read any of the articles and talked too loudly over women who try to explain it to me? It's nobody's business what goes on behind closed doors, or in Woody Allen's case, an attic door. And stop comparing Harvey Weinstein to people like Louis C.K. They are completely different situations where a powerful guy in the entertainment industry harassed women they had power over. It's like comparing apples that force themselves onto women and oranges that jerk off in front of them. Now, I'm not saying that I act exactly like the men I'm so passionately defending, but let's just say, for argument's sake, that yes, I definitely do that. Why else would I be defending them so passionately? In this theoretical scenario, would I get in the same trouble they did just because I did what they did? Nobody told me sexual harassment was going to be a problem, or else I wouldn't have kept doing it so much for all those years, hypothetically speaking. In conclusion, I have to admit that lately, I've been starting to think about maybe possibly reconsidering being open to things. These feelings seem to start ever since more accusations surfaced on Harvey Weinstein, and things are not looking good for him. After so many women have come forward and so many people have shared their detailed stories and experiences, I think I might finally be ready. I'll hear his side of the story. All right. I've always been a fan of Jonathan Swift ever since I ate my first baby. But that's the point, guys. I would like to tell you this story real quick before I make moves to get out of here. I was doing a show in a small town in Mississippi recently, and they didn't really like me because I'm not a white banjo, but I wanted to connect to them, so I figured make a local reference. And it seemed like the only thing they had in that place was this burger joint that was across the street. So I wrote this burger joke. And as I started saying this, realized I forgot my burger joke. Shit. Damn, wow. Oh boy. Wow. Sorry everybody. truth be told, I'm feeling a little out of it. My girlfriend did dump me today. Like a couple hours before the show. Yeah, can you believe that she broke up with me just because I fingered her like this? I'm so sorry, everybody. I really am feeling super off my game. I got the rest of my set written right here, if only I could. Could you do me a huge favor? Could you read my jokes for me while I act them out on stage? Would that be possible? Awesome. Applause for that, everybody. Thank you so much for doing this. I super appreciate that. I just need you to read everything that's on that paper exactly how it is. Nice and loud into that mic. Thank you so much. So sorry, everybody. I know this is super unprofessional, but we'll get everything back on track. So here we go. Whenever you're ready, just read exactly what's on the paper, nice and loud. Here we go.
I'm on this new diet. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called larger shirts.
Alright, it's a bit of a tough crowd. You're going to a little closer.
My wife never wants to have sex, no matter how much we need the money.
Here we go.
My wife gets mad when I pee in the shower, but I can't really help it. A little bit of pee always comes out when I poop.
Hell yeah, we got this now. Let's bring it on home. Here we go.
Here's my impression of Matthew McConaughey, if he were a GPS. Turn right, turn right, turn right. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I told everyone that I'm going to be a famous comedian, but I'm not good at it. I have a terrible Matthew McConaughey impression. I hate myself. I'm so lonely. I should just give up. Oh, I remember my burger joke. Most fast food places use frozen patties. Maybe they should call them hamburgers. Thank you. I'm Martin Urbano.
Oh my God. Everybody, applause for me. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Martin Urbano, everybody. Give it up for her too. That was good. Like I swear, go on the road. You're like the new Sklar brothers. That would be hilarious. That's her show. Go great. What do you think? Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. No bad. No shitty. Okay, now here's what we do at the end of the show. Okay, a lot of you paid tickets.